It is week 10 in the National Football League. We have 4 teams on byes, including the Chiefs, who would not be in the playoffs right now at 5-4. We've got a Germany game between the Colts and Falcons. We've got Patriots at Bucks on CBS and Eagles-Packers Monday Night Football to close out the week. And I hope it's a better week for Kyle and Pete. Yikes.
Okay, these things happen.
We were terrible, man.
9 combined wins?
I mean,
9?
My gosh.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, I can look and say I should have had the Bengals. I should have had the Texans. Shouldn't I?
Well, how did you miss that Bears-Bengals over?
Yeah.
That was as loose as it gets.
We said it would get loose too, right?
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. All we can do is move on. All we can do is just,
It's 1 week. It's 1 week at a time, one play at a time. We know how we
just
are.
like the taste of it and move on.
Right.
Okay.
We got rid of that. We got rid of that Tuesday morning, like every good team
Flush
does.
it.
Flush it.
We had a players-only meeting.
Did you flush it?
It wouldn't go down.
It was that big. It was that big. That big. Had to get the plunger out. Whoom, whoom.
On that note, let's start with Thursday Night Football. The
Stunk
Raiders
bad, too.
are at the Broncos. The Broncos going for a 10th straight win at home. It's a big number, though, in a divisional rivalry game, Pete.
Yeah, and I had a tough time with this because it is a divisional rivalry game. But not only that, because when Brock Bowers is on the field, you can't cover the guy. I mean, he is truly special. You saw what he did to Jacksonville. They did everything they could to try and take him away. So that concerned me. But I think Denver is so good on defense right now. And the Raiders' offensive line isn't great. I think there's going to be a chance to get after the quarterback. And if they get after the quarterback, what does Geno Smith do? He turns the ball over. I think he will turn the ball over. That will lead to short fields. And by the way, if I was starting this game, if I were the Broncos, I'd say, hey, Bo, fourth quarter, we're starting in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Because you play well in the fourth quarter. He doesn't play well to open games. So I'm gonna take the Broncos. I think they play well here.
So last week I would have picked the Broncos to cover this number, but this week we're turning over a new leaf here.
You're the opposite of every.
style.
Like you said, Brock Bowers. We had a players-only meeting, Pete. Come on. Brock Bowers is back, and that leads me to believe Geno Smith has a certain level of comfort now that he was lacking early in the season when Brock was out there with the Don Joy on his knee. And the Raiders become who they plan to be offensively when you get that tight end in the lineup. I think they hang around. I don't think that they beat this team, but 9.5, that's a big number. Give me the Raiders.
So you're taking the Raiders, but you really like the Broncos because
the Broncos.
because of what you did last week.
No, I just think that
He's in his own head now.
with
really
the
is.
pass rush, it's going to be an impossible hill to climb for the Las Vegas Raiders. But they will be able to stick around. And with Geno Smith, Brock Bowers, they're going to be able to make some things happen.
Some have compared that pass rush to the 85 Bears, but
Please,
we won't go there this
please,
week.
Stop.
We won't do that this week. Maybe
He's like a
next week.
kicker. He's like a kicker who's gone.
They had
rotten.
all Hall of Famers.
He's like a kicker who's gone rotten. He's in his own
So,
head right now.
Hall of Famers.
Raiders have been outscored 71-6 over their last 2 road games.
Not good.
And this is not an easy
Can I make it 12.5? Can we do that?
You want to tease it up? Okay. You want to add another
Well,
one in there?
we have some exotic picks later on in the show.
Can't wait to see the producer's best bet. Let's move to Germany. How about this? Another game in Germany. It's 4th or 5th straight year we're going to get a game in Germany. It's in Berlin.
Tag.
It's the Falcons and the Colts, and the Colts with one of the big moves of the trade deadline, Peter.
Yeah, they go get Sauce Gardner, and there's a reason they go get Sauce Gardner. They think they're good, and you look around the AFC, and the AFC is wide open. I think the whole league is wide open. So if you think you're close, you go make a move. Sauce Gardner's a good corner. They gave up way too much for him, but that's a whole nother issue. They think they're ready to make a push. They didn't play well last week. Daniel Jones did not play well.
5 turnovers from Jones?
He was holding the football. He was getting hit. The pass rush got home. The line, which has been dominant, was not very good. So this is a very big game for them as a franchise to go there and try and win this game. But I think the Falcons are also in a similar situation. A lot of people thought the Falcons were going to push the Bucs in the division. Hadn't happened. But I do think they play well here. I think they hang around. Those young pass rushers are starting to show up for the Falcons, and I think they'll show up in this game. They'll keep them in it. You might see the Colts win the game. By the way, memo to Indianapolis. You might want to try giving Jonathan Taylor the ball more than 4 times on the first 3 drives of the game. He is the guy who drives that offense. I think they get back to that. They win the game, but the Falcons hang around.
I'm glad you pointed that out about Jonathan Taylor. If you can't find a way to keep him swinging, even if you're not making the hay that you want to make in your offense, keep handing him the football. Good things tend to happen when that happens. As for last week, they were made to be a one-dimensional offense, and Daniel Jones had to drop back and pass. The O-lineman had to be in obvious pass protection situations. It didn't bode well for them, but this week it will. I've got the Colts on the road in Germany. Jonathan Taylor, big game.
So you got the Colts, but you like the Falcons. I see how that works.
I love the Colts. I got the Colts. That's where I'm rolling.
Colts still hold on to that 1 seed despite the loss last week. Game 1 for Sauce Gardner, how big of an impact could he have on a really short week?
There, go over there and go cover Drake London.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what you're going to ask him
Go
to
prove
do.
to us what we just gave up.
You're
Wow.
going to take him away. We're going to roll coverage the other side. All you got to do is cover him.
You got a few days to prepare, and you're playing in Germany, so you're losing some travel there as well.
Just hope he tackles better than he's tackled the last couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be
2
nice,
first-round
Pete.
picks.
Huh?
Be nice.
2 first-round picks
Not
for
exactly the greatest
Sauce
tackler
Gardner.
in the world.
NFL Today Plus, Sundays on CBS Sports HQ and Paramount Plus.
All of Kyle shows up for that show. He just doesn't show up for the promo. It's only half his
Always
head.
lop the top of his head off.
Boom.
It's okay.
That's the issue with being
Budget.
tall and bald.
Yep.
I know part of it. I don't know half of it. I don't know the other half.
Yeah, like literally half of it.
Not even.
1 o'clock games, the early games on CBS this Sunday. And then we got a doozy there. Patriots and Buccaneers in Tampa. The Bucs, number 1 in Pete's power rankings this week. Bills coming off that huge win against the Chiefs, 9.5-point favorites in Miami against the Dolphins. We will pick all these games right meow. Let's start with the best game of the Sunday slate on paper. Patriots and Bucs, a combined record of 13-4, and these are 2 of the top 5 shortest odds to win the MVP right now, these 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with the Bucs here. Coming off a bye, I think they're getting guys back. That's important. When the Bucs are healthy, they're going to be really good.
Who are they getting back this week?
I think Mike Evans is going to be back this week, so we'll see. Maybe Godwin. I mean, they might getting guys back. Gedeke has now opened up the practice window for him to come off the right tackle. So you get guys back, and all of a sudden you're going to start seeing better offense. And we've seen good offense. They're going to see better offense. And so I like what they're doing. Look, the Patriots have really played well. And Mike Vrabel's a hell of a coach, and Drake May has played great football. But they haven't exactly beat up a murderer's row. This is one of those prove-it games for me to the Patriots, and I think it's going to be tough sledding for them. I think the Bucs are the better team. I'm going to take the Bucs in this game.
I think that there's no elixir or stimulant like confidence in the National Football League, particularly for young quarterbacks. With the way that Drake May's played this year, it has just bled into every single guy in that locker room. They have an elite level of confidence in that young man, Drake May. He's been sensational. He's been phenomenal. All the superlatives. They're an explosive offense, man. They're so much fun to watch. It's not just small ball Patriots. It's like home run hitting style of offense. Give me the Patriots in this one. I know the Bucs should be getting healthy, but I think that confidence will show itself in Tampa Bay on Sunday.
This is a fun game. I mean, this is a big-time game. It's a statement game for the Patriots in every way, shape, or form.
2 badasses at the quarterback position.
Love
too.
watching them play. This is going to be a fun game.
Quarterback scales, Pete.
Right now, it's Baker.
Baker's got the edge?
Yeah, right now, Baker's.
You really believe the Bucs are the best team in the NFL right now?
I do. When they're healthy, they're the best team. Now, does it hold up? We'll see. But they are when they're healthy.
Huge game. CBS, 1 o'clock Eastern time this Sunday. Let's go to Houston. Maybe C.J. Stroud makes it out of concussion protocol. We don't know at this point. That's what makes this game really hard to pick. Full disclosure, this is Tuesday afternoon. Texans are favored by 1.5 points here. Davis Mills would be the quarterback once again if Stroud doesn't make it back.
I think Stroud's going to play. That's why I kind of picked the Texans. And when I look at it, this is about their defense. I mean, their defense is dominant. They get after the quarterback.
Unbelievable.
And you go to the other side of the ball, and Jacksonville was so banged up on offense. No Hunter. I don't think Thomas is going to play this week. They made the trade to get Jacoby Myers. That'll help. But they're really no Brenton Strange. He's big in their run game. And so I do think that this will be a close game, but I think the Texans will find a way to cover the number if C.J. Stroud's there. Now I'm going to put the asterisk on it because I don't think they'll win if Davis Mills is playing.
That Houston stadium is going to be rocking, and you know how that defense plays, but I think that C.J. does come back. I think the offense continues to take another step. There was so much to be desired at the beginning of this season when looking at this team as a whole. Number 1 offense, bottom of the barrel, or number 1 defense, bottom of the barrel offense. Now things are, if they can get C.J. in there, They should be able to blend those two things. Give me the Texans at home.
Wow. Would you take them if Davis Mills is playing?
No.
No. It's hard to make this pick.
Yeah, well, you got to stick with it.
Yeah.
That's
Tuesday.
That's part of it.
It's Tuesday.
It's part of it. And Texans have been terrible in one-score games, 0-5 this season, and this has a one-score game written all over it. Those guys think the Texans are going to buck that trend, and Stroud will play. Let's move on to the Bills and the Dolphins. The Bills coming off that huge win over Kansas City. Is it a potential letdown spot here playing the Dolphins?
It's a potential letdown spot, but there's one factor in it. The Dolphins are owned by Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the history and the numbers he puts up against them, they can't stop him. He runs on them, he throws on them, he owns them. Look at these numbers. I mean, 14-2 in his career. He averages 3 total touchdowns a game and 312 total yards. I mean, it's just he owns them, and this Dolphins defense is not very good. We've seen that. I think it starts slow, Chris, because they're coming off that big win, but they'll figure it out and they'll blow them out in the second half.
I think that with this garage sale that's going to be happening in South Florida, we could see guys stepping up for the Dolphins that maybe haven't had the opportunities. And you and I both know it's the interim head coach bump, it's the backup quarterback bump, and then now it's the let's find out what you're worth bump. And that's where guys go out there and they lay it on the line. They play like their hair's on fire. I do think this is a tough spot coming off that emotional victory in primetime against the Chiefs. But you got to think the Bills continue to handle business. The 9.5 doesn't scare me. Give me the Bills.
Who's your vote for MVP at this point in the season? Is it Josh Allen?
It's between Matt Stafford and Josh Allen, I think.
Matthew Stafford's been incredible.
You just don't like Drake May? They don't just give it to second-year quarterbacks?
No, he's in the conversation. I think those two are ahead. Matt Stafford has 21 touchdown passes.
I understand that.
Well, what a great race this could be between Buffalo and New England here as we head into the second half of the season.
Drake May fan club over here. Woo-wee!
I like the whole 2024 class. Matter of fact, they should have put Jaden Daniels out. That was crazy. Criminal.
No, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we will. Not yet, though. Browns and Jets. Myles Garrett had...
Do we have to do this one?
Well, look, the Jets might be saying that. Justin Fields might be saying that right now. They no longer have Sauce Gardner. Traded him away. Fields was sacked 4.5 times by Myles Garrett in Fields' first game. Myles Garrett coming off a 5-sack game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, this is when we were just talking about how spoiled we were to watch this Bucs and Patriots and Chiefs Bills last week. This is one of those ones. We're going to find out how much you love football. Are you going to stick around and watch this one? That being said, I'm going to be taking the Jets. I think there's newfound excitement. You got 2 first-round picks coming down the pipe.
But how does the locker room take it when you trade away a guy that's supposedly one of your stars?
Well, you tell me. Is he one of their stars right now?
Perceived stars.
We don't do perceived stars in the NFL.
Well, we don't think he's a star, but the Jets think he's a star.
I think guys are probably excited about the future, and guys probably want to be playing in that market and play for that franchise. And I understand we had the Woody Johnson conversation last week where it's like free agents won't want to show up and play there, but you can't choose whether or not you're going if you get drafted. And if you're already in the building, you're like, let's make this thing as good as possible. I think the Jets are on their way to getting it right. Give me the Jets in this.
They got A.D. Mitchell now.
Yeah, I mean, well, they have 2 first-round picks, and they're going to have a lot of money to spend. So
it's an exciting time.
Yeah, I mean, but not for now, and that's the point. I think that those guys will look around the locker room and go, "Oh, we just traded away one of our best players. What are we doing here?" And I think this is going to be a problem for them. Kevin Stefanski's given up play calling duties to Tommy Rees in Cleveland. I don't know if that matters. What does matter is that defense, and we've seen the Jets' offense look horrible at times. And you're playing that defense with Myles Garrett, like you mentioned, I think it's going to look horrible again this week. I'm going to take the Browns.
Cleveland has lost 7 straight road games by 13-plus points.
I like that trend too there, Pete.
That wouldn't be the case if they played the Jets on the road.
You're right. You're right. They don't go to MetLife.
Or the Giants, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Take your pick. They can play both of them.
Those are the early games on CBS this upcoming Sunday, Week 10 in the National Football
10?
League. Week 10,
It's amazing.
baby.
Burning by.
There we are. If you
I
don't
can't
get
count
an
much
early
higher than
game,
that.
you'll get the red-hot Seahawks against the Arizona Cardinals coming off a win against the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. All right, let's go to the other 1 o'clock Eastern time games, including some NFC North teams at home coming off big wins. The Vikings hosting the Ravens, who are 4.5-point favorites. The Bears coming off that just incredible high-scoring affair against the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Panthers, man, they could get to
They're a football
two
team.
games over 500
Tough.
Yeah.
at home against the Saints. Finally favored this season are the Panthers. Let's start with the Ravens and the Vikings. And both teams really looked good last week getting their starting quarterback back.
Yeah, and we know that the Ravens are an entirely different team when Lamar Jackson's on the field. He changes everything. He changes the passing game. He changes the run game. And Brian Flores was outstanding last week against the Lions. He had Jared Goff spinning his head around. He didn't know what was coming, where they were coming from. The problem, though, is when you do that against Lamar Jackson, usually you have your back turned. And that's going to be a concern. I think that's that track is fast. It's the biggest difference here. I think Lamar Jackson's going to go up there and play really well. J.J. McCarthy did some good things, but he also did some bad things. And so the inconsistency is still there for a young quarterback. I'm going to take the Ravens. I think they go in there and play well and win the game.
I was really wrestling with this one today, and I ended up on the Vikings side, and I think that the questions that I had about J.J. McCarthy were answered this past game. And it's not necessarily that he is the best quarterback in the NFC North or he's one of the top 5 guys from No, I just think he's a winner. I think he's a winner. I think the guys in Minnesota believe in him. And with all the questions in Baltimore about the defense, about Lamar's hamstring, I think there's less questions right now in Minnesota if that guy, J.J. McCarthy, can show up and just throw the ball to your stars, man. It doesn't have to be that complicated.
No. Get the ball to
Throw
Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson the friggin' ball. Give me the Vikings in this spot.
You know, he's been a winner. He played at IMG Academy where they recruit every kid in the world at high school, and then he played at Michigan where they had like 20 people that were drafted.
And now he's playing with Justin Jefferson. He's
But
got Kevin
he's a
O'Connell.
winner.
He's
You're
got
going to win.
Josh
He's
McCown.
a winner.
He's got good players.
He's a winner. He's a winner.
You know what? That
I could have
matters.
taken snaps on those teams and then would have won games.
I've been on great football teams and we didn't win. I've been on teams with great players that we didn't win. You know what?
You know who was a winner and a leader? Tim Tebow was once upon a time.
God, that guy was good.
What was his throwing motion?
Shot put.
Pete's got it. There it is. Why do you put? He
Pete's
puts his
got it.
middle finger up when he.
Well, because my fingers don't move that
Look
way.
at
My fingers don't move.
Hey, what
that
do you
way.
think Sportsline gives the Ravens to make the playoffs? A percentage chance.
26.
I got it right here.
It's higher than you think it is because they think they're going
said
to win the
26.
division. They think they're going to win the
34.
division. They think they're going to win the division.
33% according to
Oh.
Sportsline. The odds think that they're going to win the division. The odds they're minus money to win it, but Sportsline a little iffy.
By the way, that defense, guys, Roquan Smith, Marlon
Yeah.
Humphrey, they woke themselves up.
You know who else woke up? The Steelers defense.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Kyle's
different game.
We're talking about the division.
You're jumping,
The
you're,
division.
You're jumping ahead. Slow your roll.
Everybody wants to play the divisional thing.
Kyle.
What's that? Who do
Bears
I got?
are only a half game out of first
Yes.
in the NFC North.
That's true. Let's not jinx it.
I saw him over the weekend talking with Adam Shine, saying the Bears can beat anybody. You were so high after that comeback win against the Bengals.
He gave up about 80 points to the Bengals, didn't they?
Well, it's funny when you give up 80 points and you still win a game. It
Well,
tells you something.
Joe Flacco threw for 470.
Tells you something good about your offense, though, right?
I get it. I
I am
get
the
it.
eternal optimist.
You are. The offense looked good.
But they've been banged up on the back end, and to still go out there and compete against two an All-Pro, Triple Crown winner, and T. Higgins.
And Higgins was awesome.
And I'll tell you what, Flacco's still got it, dude.
He can
I don't
rip
care
it.
what anybody
He can
says.
rip it.
Joe Flacco still got it. So they proved to me, especially how they won. And you and I were talking about this, and your old man, he's a Bears guy.
I've never seen him win a game like that in my life.
Wow, screaming
it's like
pop.
front, It's like front running, not being able to play from behind. That's kind of been the MO here for Chicago. For them to finish the way they did, for them to have a quarterback like Caleb, to get us down the field with 30, 45 seconds left in the game. Colston Loveland, having his real breakout
about that?
game. It's unbelievable. I like where the Bears are going. They're not world beaters yet, but they are building a bully in Chicago. And I think that team in the red and the white and blue there, the New York Giants, they're building the same type of bully. Now, what they're going to do with their coach is it's unknown to me, but they've got their quarterback and their team likes that guy. Give me the Bears in this one. I love these guys at home.
I'll take the Bears too, and I like what I saw from the rookie runner the other day.
Monangai.
Monangai was running hard and tough, and I think he's going to be a factor in that.
They're going to keep
offense.
Swift over there on the
They
sideline.
might. I mean, he might. That kid ran hard, and you mentioned Caleb Williams. He did some good things. He did some bad things, like he always does. But he played well on that drive when they needed to make a play. He ran out of there. But those guys got to make.
Look like Fran
See, that's the
Tarkenton.
thing, by the way. Even if they make that tackle, they still probably make a field goal to win
yeah.
the game. So I give them credit for that. Defense concerns me. I know they're banged up on the back end, but there's still some concerns on the defense.
Yes.
This could be an 11th straight road loss for the Giants. 10 straight road L's and dealing with a lot of injuries as well. How about the Panthers, man? They've won 4 straight starts from Bryce Young, and they're favored for the first time all season.
That's unbelievable.
Look, they are a physical, tough team. That's what they are. They went out, they paid guards in free agency last year, and they're big and strong, and they run the ball. And you saw Rico Dowdle, you pull running back right off, boom, you're in. They paid Chuba Hubbard last year, and now Rico Dowdle, you're in. And he's running like crazy, and they can run the ball. And, Bryce Young only threw for like 140 yards or something last week, and they still won the game. Played really good defense and sound. Derek Brown is killing people on the interior. And so I do think that they're a team that's going to be a pain in the butt for everybody week in and week out, and I like them this week. I think they show up and win this game.
They're such a sneaky, tough football team, and it's never more obvious how talented the entire league is when we crown teams like Buffalo and Philly and Kansas City, but then a team like the Carolina Panthers show up and they beat the hell out of the Green Bay Packers, and people are like, I guess they're a pretty good football team too. Give me the Panthers in this one. 5.5 doesn't scare me. And Saints, Saints lost to Shaheed. Panthers, they can control the line of scrimmage. You said Rico Dowdle. He came in the low red area last week when they needed a touchdown, and he was banged up. He's got a lower extremity, bruise. They pulled him off the bench. He came in there, hammered his way into the end zone. That's the style of play that they have to lean on. I like the Panthers.
By the way, Tyler Shuck did some good things last week against the Rams. There were some nice throws he made, but that's tough ass to go on the road against that defense. I think he'll play better here, but you're back-to-back road games too. That's tough. So I'm going to take the Panthers.
Panthers handed the Packers their worst upset since 1970 last week. They were 13.5-point dogs. Let's recap the games at 1 o'clock and the picks from Pete and Kyle, who agree on the Texans -1.5 at home against the Jags and the Bills -9.5 against the Dolphins on the CBS games. And in the 3 other 1 o'clock Eastern time kicks, a couple of agreements there. Bears -3.5 and Panthers -5.5. Let's go to the late window. And we've got one game on CBS, Seahawks, Cardinals, 4:05 Eastern. And 2 games kicking off at 4:25 Eastern time. All 3 of those teams sitting there with 6 wins in the NFC West in action. And we'll start with the Rams and the 49ers. And the Rams are rolling right now, 3 straight wins by 2 touchdowns or more.
And look, they can throw it around. They can run it. They're physical. They can get after it with that front. And so I like what they've done, and I like where they're headed. Matt Stafford probably would be the MVP right now. But this is a tough game. And remember, the 49ers beat them a couple weeks ago. They went there and beat them. And look, is Brock Purdy coming back? Who knows? Mac Jones has played well. I got to give him his flowers. He's played better than I thought he would play. I think the 49ers, even though they've lost a lot of guys with injuries, I think they've replaced some of those guys with some good football players, young players. I think that matters. McCaffrey can still do his thing. I'm going to take the 49ers in this spot at home.
When I think about the NFC West, I think about parity, particularly between these 2 teams, the Rams and the Niners. They play each other tough. They play each other well. Both great coaches. But at the end of the day, I'm going to tilt the scales to the quarterback that I trust more. That's Matt Stafford, regardless of the health of the guys on the outside. Matt Stafford's going to do what it takes to win the football game. Give me the Rams in this one in what is essentially a toss-up.
Isn't it crazy? Going into the season, all the concerns were around Matt Stafford's potential injury issues, and he's been great, and the 49ers have just been cut in every single aspect.
I mean, you're talking about stars that aren't playing, Bosa and Fred Warner. I mean, they're not in the lineup, and the quarterback hasn't been playing. So yeah, they've had to deal with a lot. Kyle Shanahan's done a great job with this team.
Do you think Brock Purdy's a star?
He's
paying him like
this is what you do to me, by the way.
Do I think he's a star?
You've said he's a star multiple times because they're paying him like a star.
Just wanted to check.
Is he ever coming back?
Huh? Good question.
Seems like every week we sit here and we're like, maybe Brock Purdy comes back.
Every week the 49ers throw the tease out. He might be coming back. Yeah.
Jeez.
No, just what? So you don't prepare for it? So you prepare for him?
All right, let's go to the Lions and the Commanders. And, the gruesome injury last week to Jaden Daniels. So Marcus Mariota is going to be taking on an angry Lions team.
Well, first off, you think he should have been in the game or not?
I just like to play devil's advocate. in conversation. Look, you're going to be in the game unless you're down by 40 points.
See, I hate the quarterbacks in the game when the game is lost. And Tom Brady used to, by the way, Tom Brady did it all the time.
Didn't want to come out.
That's just dumb. Get him out. Because the only thing that can happen is bad things. And we saw that with Jaden Daniels. It was a bad thing. But if Jaden Daniels is on the field, I don't think it really matters this year. He's a great player. Their defense is awful right now. They don't rush the passer. They don't cover anybody. Toast Lattimore gets burnt every other day. And so you look at this team, and they're a mess right now. So I think no matter if he's there or not, Mariota will go in, and he'll do some good things. But I think they have problems on defense to the point where I think the Lions go in there and put a number on them. I'll take the Lions.
Yeah, I like the Lions here as well. And for the reasons you talked about with the Commanders' defense, but also just the absolute blow that your locker room takes when Jaden Daniels goes down. And it's not like, well, Marcus is going to carry the torch for 1 week, and our guys, he ain't coming back. I mean, he's got to get that thing fixed most likely. So I'm going to go with the Lions here.
All right, let's move to the CBS game in the late window. Only one. We do not have the doubleheader, so you'll only get this game if you don't get an early game. And it's the Seahawks, Pete, 6.5-point favorites against the Cardinals. You get absolutely bludgeoned in the YouTube comments every week by Seahawks fans. One of them last week said you wouldn't pick them to cover a spread if they were playing a team filled with blind men.
But see, what they don't realize is I pick them to win. I just sometimes don't pick them to
Are you going to pick them to cover the 6.5 number?
No. But I think they win the game. And in talking to people around the league, and I tend to agree with them, they might end up being one of those teams that pushes way deep into the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Because Darnold is leading the league in 9.6 yards per attempt. They're driving the ball down the field. But more than that, that defensive front is nasty. And they still haven't had everybody back on the back end. And they're getting better. The young players are growing up. I give nothing but respect. In fact, I led the power rankings this week writing about the Seahawks.
Why can't you ever pick them against the spread?
Well, because they're laying 6.5 points. That's a large number to a team that's really playing pretty good defense right now in Arizona. They're getting after it. And who plays quarterback in Arizona? We don't know. They say it's going to be Kyler Murray, but I don't know if you can make that move.
Even Marvin Harrison Sr. said it's unwatchable.
I love that Marvin Harrison. He never talked when he played, but now he's out there talking now.
Hey, you got a kid who's doing it. You want to help your boy out as much as possible.
Jacoby Brissett played well. I think they hang around the game no matter who plays quarterback.
Give me the Seahawks. They're going to cover. I, like Pete is alluding to, am scared of the formula that they have constructed in Seattle. Play hellacious defense, and now they've got a guy who can take the top off the defense, and they've got one of the best receivers in football in JSN. And to your point, Sam Darnold is the real deal right now.
Playing great football. He really is.
And they're only going to get better as a team.
Yeah.
And Seahawks fans, we will direct you to CBSSports.com. Check out Pete Prisco's brand new Power Rankings. He dedicated the entire article to you.
Wow. Well, they think I hate the Seahawks. I don't hate the Seahawks. I just used to criticize the quarterback who played in Seattle.
Yeah, I was told it goes back to the Russell Wilson days.
Yes, it does. It does. It goes
Matt
way
Hasselbeck
back.
for me.
And the Legion.
We want the ball. We're going to score.
And the Legion of Boom blocked me on Twitter back in the day. So
Pete hasn't picked the Seahawks to cover a spread since Matt Hasselbeck was the quarterback. There are the
Dave
picks.
Craig.
Oh, Pete likes it to get loose
in Detroit. I mean, who can't score on that defense?
49.5.
Yeah, I got to see. It wasn't a 51 like you always say.
No, but you always pick the high ones. You never pick a high total to go under.
No.
All right, Sunday Night Football. DK Metcalf and the Steelers, Justin Herbert and the Chargers. I don't know, maybe this might have been the week to put a defensive player on the big board for the Steelers after what they did last week, forcing 6 Colts turnovers and looking like the Steelers of old.
Remember last week when he said TJ Watt was...
You called him out.
No, I didn't.
Washed.
I said they need more production out of their stars, and I'm right. And they've gotten it.
They got it.
And you know what? It's funny because my colleague JJ Watt was on the call for that game this past week, and in pregame he's talking about how is this Steelers defense, the most expensive defense in football, going to respond after being finger pointed all week and all season really. And then the hottest offense in football comes in, and you absolutely dominate them in steel curtain fashion. Is that the Steelers that we're going to see against the Chargers? Who knows? But I'm enjoying it, and I'm sure the Steelers fans are too.
Did you get a call from the Watt family about your comment?
Please stop talking about this.
And we're gonna have a battle royale, the Longs against the Watts. There we go. I'll pay money for that. Let's promote that. Let's get that going.
That's the last thing we need.
I can't wait.
That's my buddy.
Hey, would you lay off my brother, please? But you know what? TJ played much better last week, and as did Highsmith and everybody else on that defensive line. You're right. They got after the quarterback. They got after the quarterback, and you're right. They had a team meeting about their defense, and Jalen Ramsey had a big, speech before everybody and got them playing better. And they needed to play better. They were terrible on defense.
I guess Bill Cowher went and talked to him.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Well, they needed something, and they played much better. But this is a tough ask to go out there and play this team. Justin Herbert's playing great. I'm concerned about not having all. Not having all now is a big loss for that offense. But I still think the Chargers will find a way to win this game.
Yeah, I said all that nice stuff about the Steelers, but I'm picking the Chargers.
Yeah, I saw that. They did play well last week.
Justin Herbert, guy. Is Justin Herbert getting off the bus?
Yes.
We're good.
Yeah, he can rip it.
Yeah.
Long brothers against Watt brothers.
No!
Winner moves on to face the Prisco brothers.
Come on.
Have you
fight
met
dirty.
Pete's brother?
We fight dirty, the Prisco. We don't fight. We fight with weapons.
I don't fight.
We fight with weapons in the Prisco household.
All right,
I'm kidding.
There's Peter. Listen to those guys on Sunday nights.
Hey, Damien was on NFL Today Plus.
Yeah.
Was he pulling a doubleheader, or did you have to get a? You had to get a
We had
sub
Danny,
in there.
Danny Cannell.
Yeah, Danny Cannell, the sub. The sub boy
quarterback.
came in.
The quarterback protector. Sound the alarm.
All right, Monday Night Football. How about this? Eagles are playing better football now. The Packers were the 1 seed last week before they totally laid an egg. Now the Eagles are in 1 seed position in the NFC. Packers are at home, though, and 2.5-point favorites on Monday Night Football.
The Packers are one of the youngest teams in the league. And when you're one of the youngest teams in the league and you come off a big win on the road in prime time against the Steelers, and you have the Eagles the following week, you're going to overlook the team you're playing in the middle part of that sandwich.
Sandwich trap.
It was trap. And by the time they looked up, they couldn't get out from underneath it. They did not play very well. They have a tendency to play much more conservatively against bad teams than they do against good teams. I don't know why. It's something they have to get out of. And I think that will factor in here. Losing Tucker Kraft is enormous to that offense. But I think they have enough weapons. I think their offensive line needs to play better, by the way. They're a group that on paper looks good. They haven't played that well. I do think they play better here. I think they were looking ahead to this game, and I think they're going to play like it and play much better. I'll take the Packers.
I really like the formula that Kevin Patullo is using now, because you feel like at the beginning of the season for the Philadelphia Eagles, their offense left a lot to be desired.
Yes.
And he's starting to figure out what works and how to better position his star players. And I think when they get out there and go heavy personnel and just say, there's no secrets here, we're going to kick your ass at the line of scrimmage and run the football, that's when they're at their best. And to take away the best players from the Green Bay Packers, you're going to need to do that. You're going to need to have success on first and second down running the football, keeping Halfley honest. And I think that the Eagles should be able to handle business here. I mean, to your point, and I've said this all year, the Packers on paper, they're like the most complete team in football. They should not lose. But we haven't seen that from the Packers, and they've struggled against bad teams. Well, here's an opportunity to play well against a really good team. And guess what? You're at home again. You get to, right the ship off of last week. But give me the Eagles, man. I think this is their time to start to flourish.
Don't fumble the opening kickoff like they did in that playoff game. That set the tone for the entire playoff game, and yet they were still in that game at some point. I think they play well here. The young guys have to learn how to focus in the lesser games. That's the problem. And you've been around teams that have young guys.
Every play matters. Every game matters.
Yeah, it's time to deal with that. This won't be one of those weeks, but down the road you're going to have those weeks. They got to deal better with those teams.
One game in the NFC separates the top-seeded Eagles and a team that's not even in the playoffs, the Chicago Bears.
Crazy.
One game separating the top 8 teams.
And you know what? Across the league, there are no dominant teams, and that's exactly the way the NFL likes it.
You know who looks dominant right now? Seattle Seahawks.
They look good.
You look at that division, Seattle and L.A. in the West, man. All right, here are your picks. In the primetime games, beginning with Thursday Night Football between the Broncos and the Raiders.
We differ a
Yeah,
lot
you do.
this week. One of us is going down the toilet.
Separation Sunday.
Or we'll both get half of them right. We'll both stink.
Chargers -3 is the only pick that they agree on in the primetime games as the Chargers host the Steelers on Sunday night. All right, it is time for Best Bets. Pete, I caught you. We're the only ones over 500.
What did you hit last week with your win?
Seattle,
Oh yeah.
-3.5.
You had to wait till Monday night.
Yeah.
Patient.
Yeah.
Kyle, how is Kyle as bad as the producer? Did the producer pick actually hit last week?
But you know what?
It
We can't
did?
count that stupid thing.
Oh yeah, that.
They keep putting those stupid things up there. We're going to eliminate them from the
I'm gonna start having them pick mine.
Have you seen this week's from the producer?
No, but I heard it's crazy exotic.
It's really exotic.
Okay.
Freaky.
Yeah.
Pete, lead us off.
I'm going back to an over. You know I like overs.
course.
I'm taking the Lions-Commanders game going over 49.5. I just don't see how the Commanders stop the Lions, and I think Mariota will play well enough because the Lions weren't exactly great on defense last week either, so I think it goes over the total.
So you think that the Lions will score like 42 points? Is what you're telling me?
35, and the Commanders will.
I'm
get
gonna
there.
fade you on that.
Oh.
I'm gonna fade you. Wow. Dude, can that give me a plus point if I get my best bet and I fade you?
I heard you
properly?
talking about some overs. You like the Eagles?
I'm going
Packers
Eagles
over.
Packers over.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going
heard you
Eagles
talking-
Packers over. I think that thing could get loose. I really
I
do.
tend to agree with you on
Yeah.
that one.
Pete,
I like yours.
you were 2-1 when you take the over in games for best bets anyway this season. So
Is that
you've been good.
according to our research department?
According to research? Yes.
Okay, I like.
Kyle is 0-2 picking the team.
Good, keep picking though.
I am going to go to Kyle's Chicago Bears -3.5 against the Giants.
You're Chicago Bears.
Well, yeah, but I didn't play for them.
No,
He
no,
did.
but you've been a fan long.
Are you like one of those people who are like, I've cried about this team since before you even knew a player on
Yeah,
the roster?
before you were even born.
I love
Did
those.
you ever cry over a football game like that?
I
Of
did.
course.
I never have.
I cry. I
You
cry
kidding
a
me?
lot.
When Aaron Rodgers was throwing like 50-yard passes to
cried
kick
like
the
a
Bears
baby.
out of the postseason.
You cried like a baby?
2013.
Ugh.
You remember that?
Cried like a baby, Pete.
You did?
Yeah, just like you.
No,
when
no.
the Arizona State Sun Devils
Just like
lost
you
in the
would let
playoffs.
Seahawks fans get in your mention, you just cry
All right.
like a little
Cry
baby.
over football game.
You ready to get exotic?
This is going to be weird.
It's a third quarter pick.
Oh, God.
Patriots Bucks third quarter over 9.5. Look at the juice they're laying. -128, Pete. Are you going to allow that?
The juice is fine. It's just, I mean, what are we doing? I thought we were picking games. We're not picking exotics.
You guys are sickos.
They have shows around here that pick exotics.
Are you a part of those shows?
No.
No, you only pick games.
We're
And
vanilla and
overs.
chocolate. Right?
Games and overs.
we're-
PD overs.
we're
That should be your name.
We're as
PD
bland as you get. You can make exotics?
I think you guys are going to bounce back this week after the first really bad week for both of you.
I'm vanilla, chocolate, and you're strawberry. That's what we are.
Yeah, Neapolitan. Is
What's the producer?
that what that is?
They got like pistachio ice cream or something with all kinds of
Sugar-free.
crap in it. Rocky Road, that's a disaster, ruining
a rocky
the
road.
exercise.
We are more than halfway through the season now.
Can you believe it?
It's week 10.
I always
Best bets.
say, if life went as fast as the football season does, I'd be long gone.
Well, you have to put off your retirement for another year after that bad week last week. I
Yeah.
think you wanted to retire at 65. It's not happening.
No, I'm not retired.
It's not happening, Peter.
By the way, if I'm 65, football years is like 2 times that.
Yeah.
So how old are you?
Yes.
How old is you real? How old are you really?
36.
So you're 72. You
Yep.
got me. You got me beat.
For Pete Prisco and Kyle Long, I'm Chris Hassel. Thanks for watching us.